We begin tonight with one former LSU president who may be out of a job once again this week from his current role as president of Oregon State University. The decision will be made after multiple complaints regarding how he also handled past allegations of sexual misconduct while at LSU. Fox 44's Kennedy Walker joins us live in studio tonight with the very latest. Kennedy?
Hey, Chad. Things are not looking good for former LSU President F. King Alexander. Tomorrow, Oregon State Board of Trustees will decide his fate. And one of the people scheduled to speak is Brenda Tracy, who is a sexual assault survivor.
F. King Alexander needs to be immediately removed as president from Oregon State. I do not believe he should be the president or on any campus anywhere.
Former LSU President F. King Alexander is under fire at Oregon State University for his handling of sexual misconduct allegations at LSU. This after a 148-page report details accounts of several claims of misconduct and dating violence, much of it under Alexander's leadership. At one point, the report reveals a former athletic director told Alexander that then football coach Les Miles should be fired for sexually harassing students, but Miles kept his job for an additional 3 years.
He's not being accountable for his part in what he did.
Oregon's Board of Trustees will meet Wednesday to consider discipline or even termination. Brenda Tracy is a rape survivor and former Oregon State consultant for sexual violence. She's asking the board to let Alexander go. Alexander apologized, saying in part he regrets that he did not take stronger action earlier against former coach Miles. But some say that's not enough. In a public statement, the parent of a domestic abuse survivor says Alexander oversaw a don't ask, don't tell culture where sexual and violent abuse issues were ignored and or tolerated. One columnist at the Oregonian newspaper, John Canzano, had this to say in response.
There are women on campus in Corvallis who have to wonder as they go to work or they go to school each day or they live on campus or maybe are even incoming freshmen who have to wonder, are the same things that happened at LSU under F. King Alexander's watch going to happen at Oregon State?
He says OSU's board has a big decision to make, but he thinks that decision is clear.
There is no university in the country that would hire F. King Alexander to be their president after this.
And the letter written by David Lewis, the father of the LSU tennis player, that says she was strangled by former LSU football star Drake Davis, went on to say in a statement that they feel betrayed and F. King Alexander should never be allowed the privilege of leading any college again.